Welcome to Everyday Linux User. In today's video we are going to dual boot Pop! OS with Windows. Now Pop! OS is a popular operating system created by System76 and they've just released a new version based on Ubuntu 24.04, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up a dual boot on a single drive or on two drives. And so let's get going. So first thing you need to do, you will need a blank USB drive. So if you haven't got a blank one, I suggest copying stuff off a USB drive that you don't need and then formatting that USB drive. But if you've got one of those, plug it in now and then go to system76.com/pop in a web browser. And so that's Edge in my case, and then click download. And you can see it's a 2.87 gigabyte download, so we're just going to click download there. And that's started downloading in the top right corner. So whilst that's doing that, we can get on with the rest of the setup. To get Pop! OS onto a USB drive, we are going to need a tool called Ventoy. So if you go to ventoy.net and then click on downloads, you'll see there's this Windows zip option. So click on that. And then click download latest version, and that will download as well. Whilst they are downloading, we can start working on the disk side of things. So if we go to Windows Start button and type disk mgmt, you'll see this create and format hard disk partitions. Click on that. Now, as I said, we're going to do dual boot over a 1 or 2 drive scenario. So if you are just installing over 2 drives, then all you need to do is make sure that the disk that you want to put Linux on is empty. So in this case, whichever partitions are there, you right click and then you do delete partition if there is any. If the disk is completely blank, unallocated, then it's ready to have Linux installed on it. So to delete any partitions, you basically right click and then you can do delete volume. Now you can't do it on the Windows one, it's protected, but if I had a volume here, for instance, I can delete that volume by clicking right click and delete volume. So if you're doing a 2 disk dual boot, that's what you'll need to do, is make sure that the disk that you want to put Linux on has fully unallocated space like that. If you want a single drive dual boot, then what you need to do is you need to right click on the C drive. It's probably C drive, but it's basically going to say NTFS and it's going to have a drive letter, and you're going to right click and you're going to do shrink volume. So this screen will appear, and what you need to do is enter the amount of disk space you want to allocate to Linux in megabytes. So a gigabyte is 1000 megabytes, so in this case we've got 324 gigabytes available. Now realistically you want to save some for Windows, and Linux doesn't take up that much space anyway, so in this case I'm going to put 100,000, which is 100 gigabytes, into this box. Never try and go more than the amount available, and I would also recommend leaving a fair amount of space for Windows to grow, because Windows updates tend to take more and more space as time goes on. But once you've entered that value into the box, all you have to do is click shrink. So you can see here now we've got this unallocated space, and if you're doing a single drive dual boot, that's where Linux is going to end up being installed. So we can now close this, and if we go back to our downloads, you can see both Ventoy and Pop! OS have finished downloading, so we can actually close the web browser. What we want to do now is open Windows Explorer, and if we click on the downloads folder, you'll see that we've got a Ventoy downloaded, so we're just going to double click on that. Double click on that one, and then click extract all here, and then click extract again. And that opens a new window up. Double click on Ventoy, and then click on the Ventoy to disk, and it's a double click. When the window pops up from Windows asking whether you're sure, click yes, and then we can close this Explorer down here and we can minimize this one, and make sure your USB drive is selected in the device and it's the correct one, and then all you have to do is click install, and then when the message appears click yes, and it will do a double check, so click yes again, and Ventoy will start to get installed to this drive. And you can see, congratulations, Ventoy has been successfully installed to this device. So we can close that. We can go back to the Windows Explorer, and what we've got here, so if we click here we can see we've got an empty Ventoy disk. So now what we've got to do is put our Pop! OS ISO onto it. So we're going to go to the downloads folder again. You're going to select the Pop! OS, you're going to click the copy button. You're going to go down to Ventoy, and then you're going to click the paste button. And that's everything you need to do from the Windows side of things. Now what we're going to do is we're going to reboot the computer, and as the computer starts to boot up, you're going to press the relevant function key to bring up the boot menu for your make and model of computer. Now this differs for each manufacturer, and so the best thing to do is to go onto Google and search for the make and model of your PC and say, for instance, Toshiba, and then say what is the boot key for this computer, and it will tell you. It's usually something either F7 or F9, escape, F12, something like that, but that's what you need to do. So what I'm going to do now is reboot the computer and show you this process. So you can see I pressed the F7 key there on my computer. It's going to bring up a boot menu. Now your menu is probably going to be a lot smaller than mine, but what you're looking for is the USB drive. So in my case it's the integral portable, so I'm just going to click that, and then you're going to see the Ventoy screen like this. I'm going to click the first option and then boot in normal mode, and then you've got the option to try or install Pop! OS, so we're going to click that. When the installer appears, choose your language and click select. It will ask for the region of your language, for example United States, UK, etc. Choose the relevant one and click select. It will now ask for your default keyboard layout. It usually defaults to the correct one, but if not, select it and click select. Now comes the tricky bit, the partitioning. You will need to choose custom advanced, and Pop! OS does not make this bit easy. So we'll do the first one, which is a single drive setup. Looking at the screen, you'll see lots of yellow and orange on the disk, and that we want to partition. And there is a large grey area to the right hand side. We need to add a partition in there. Click on Modify Partitions. Select the relevant drive from the drop down. It will be obvious when you choose the correct one, because you will see the words Microsoft Reserved Partition, and crucially you will see the word Unallocated. What you will do next will depend on the size of the EFI partition. If the EFI partition is 1 GB in size, then you will create a single ext partition as follows. Right click on the unallocated space and choose New. Make sure the file system is ext4 and then click Add. You can give it a name if you so wish. Click the green tick to create the partition and click Apply when the pop-up appears. Click Close when it has finished. Then close the partition window by clicking on the cross. It takes a few seconds for the screen to refresh, but when it does you will see a new coloured section instead of the grey area. Click on the coloured area and choose Use Partition. Click on Format and Use As should be set to root. Now click on the EFI partition. It's almost certainly the first partition on the drive. And choose Use Partition, but do not choose Format, simply click Away. You will see on my screen a warning appears stating the partition is too small. As I mentioned earlier, you need a 1 GB EFI partition. To get around this, we will create a new EFI partition. Click the small EFI partition again and unslide the Use Partition. Then click on Modify Partitions again and choose the same drive as before. Choose the partition that you created previously. Right click and choose Resize. Enter 1024 in the very first box and click Resize. Accept the warning when it appears and click the green tick and then click Apply. Select the remaining allocated space, right click and choose New. Change the file system to FAT32 and click Add. Click the green tick and click Apply. Click Close and close the partition window. Wait a few seconds for the window to refresh and you should see a new small partition next to the other partition you created. Select the small partition as shown and choose Use Partition. Turn the slider for format on and set Use as boot EFI. Select the other partition you created previously and choose Use Partition. Choose Format and then Use as root. Finally we are done and you can click Erase and Install. Now for the 2-drive dual boot, it is much more straightforward. Click on Modify Partitions and choose the blank drive. It will only have one section of unallocated space and nothing else. Right click and choose New. Type 1024 into the second box, change the file system to FAT32 and click Add. Right click on the remaining unallocated space and click New. Make sure the file system is ext4 and click Add. Click the green tick and choose Apply. And then close the Gparted window. Wait a few seconds for the screen to refresh. Click on the first partition that you created and choose Use Partition. Choose Format and then set Use as boot EFI. Now choose the second partition and choose Use Partition. Choose Format and Use as root. Finally, you can click Erase and Install. To finish the setup, enter your name and a username. Then enter a password and repeat the password. Click Next and Pop! OS will install to your computer. When the install has finished, reboot your computer and press the relevant function key to enter the UEFI settings. This key differs for each computer. Google the correct key for your make and manufacturer. Go to the boot menu and you are looking for the drive boot preferences. When you find them, choose Pop! OS as the default boot option and click the button to save and reboot. In my case it is F4. You will notice that when the computer starts it goes straight into Pop! OS and doesn't give an option for Windows. We will resolve this shortly. To finish the setup, click Next on the welcome screen. If you are using Wi-Fi, you can select your network and enter the password and then click Next. You'll be asked to select your language again, though it should default to the correct one. The keyboard layout, rather frustratingly, if you are in the UK, defaults to the US option. Search for English UK or English Australia or English Canada as you require. You now need to choose your time zone. Enter the city closest to your time zone. In my case, I chose London. Now you can personalise your appearance. Don't worry if you choose one and regret it, because you can change it later anyway. You can click Next on the workspaces screen and Next again on the screen after that, and finally you can click Finish. Now to fix the bootloader so Windows appears. Open a terminal and type lsblk-o name, fs type, size, mount point. We need to mount the Windows EFI partition to a folder. To do that, find the Windows EFI partition. In this case it is dev sdb1 for me. I know this from earlier, but it's likely to be the first partition on the drive where Windows is located. Type sudo mount /dev/sdb1 or the drive name that you're using, and then /mnt. Now type sudo cp-ax /mnt/efi/microsoft space /boot/efi/efi. If this doesn't work for you, you have chosen the wrong partition. Finally, we need to edit the boot file to allow a menu to appear. type sudo nano /boot/efi/loader/loader.conf. Move the cursor to the last line and add timeout space 5. Press Ctrl and O to save and Ctrl and X to exit. Reboot your computer and you should now see a menu with options to boot to Pop! OS and Windows. And that is it. Dual booting to Pop isn't the easiest experience, but it is possible as shown here. I hope you found this guide useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you next time on Everyday Linux User.